Right, this is just a heads up for before you watch the video. The recording quality is not the best. I just recorded this on a whim. I don't have the best resources on hand, so I hope you can enjoy the video despite the audio quality at times. I don't think it's horrible, but it can be pretty wonky. Tried my best, so enjoy if you can. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this film, The Northman, which I hope you've heard of before, but if you haven't, I'm going to talk about it. It's this incredible film that was released Friday, the 22nd of April, 2022, and it's an amazing movie that I don't think is getting a lot of attention, unfortunately. And I know it's only recently came out, at least when I'm recording this, it's only recently came out. It's only been out for like a weekend about, and it's not getting so much attention, I believe, or the attention that it deserves. But I'll get into that in a second. The Northman is a film that centers around Vikings. Basically, primarily, there's one Viking, Amleth. His father is king, and Amleth's uncle kills his father. And he is cast away, basically. He has to run away from his uncle's wrath, basically, and he trains, and he becomes the super badass Viking, and he vows revenge. And that's the primary kind of bare-bones plot of the film. And the film is very kind of mythic in that quality. About, family strife and brothers killing brothers and the son getting revenge. It takes that and it does something unique with it. The shots are amazing, the acting is incredible, the story is fun, it's simple but it's fun. They take a cool supernatural type sort of, again, mythic vibe to it. It's very interesting style. And the director, Robert Eggers, who I hope I'm saying the name correctly of, I'm sorry, I'm not great with pronouncing. There you go, I'm not great with pronouncing in general. It's got great action sets, just amazing cinematography, just beautiful cinematography. They make use of one-er shots, just, one-take kind of shots, amazing action set pieces. I know I'm saying amazing a lot, but this film truly blew me away. And, it has this, again, revenge, mythic quality to it, where it feels almost like something out of the Bible, kind of. I don't know if that makes sense. It's not really religious, again, it's more Norse mythology than anything related to Christians, but, it's almost Joseph Campbellian in a sense. I'm not saying it's like the hero's journey. I guess in a way it is, but I'm not saying it mirrors that, but in the same way where you take these bare bones, like Star Wars takes this bare bones concept of hero's journey, this takes kind of this bare bones Shakespearean concept. It just has such a cool kind of story to tell, and such a cool way to tell it, that I honestly, even though I was really excited for this film because I love Robert Eggers, and he made The Lighthouse and The Witch. Each of his films are different from one another, and he's a true visionary. I think he's a great artist. I'm not trying to build him up on a pedestal, but I think he's a really unique artist with a story to tell, and he has a vision for each of his projects, and I can't wait to see what he does next. And that's basically my spiel about The Northman, and I hope I may have convinced you to watch it, even though I've just been kind of going in circles, jerking the film off, basically. But I hope I gave you some reason to go check it out if you haven't heard of it or you don't know anything about it, because it is truly a really interesting film. And even if you don't maybe like it, or you don't like the story or something like that, I think you'll get an experience out of it that you won't get from most films. It'll be a unique experience. And I will almost 100% bet that you'll like it, because I think there's something there for film nerds. The shot composition and the way the story is told, it's really great. If you're into film, I think you should check out this movie. And even if you just like to check out movies for entertainment, this is a very entertaining movie. It's just a little different, and it might take some adjusting if you're not used to certain films like this kind of movie, this style. It's very interesting. It's not typical of what you usually see in the theaters. I haven't seen much hype surrounding it, and I haven't heard much talk about it recently. Even though it just came out, there's not really much discussion about it, which is very sad in my opinion. It is open to a $12 million box office weekend release, and that's pretty good according to the sources I've heard, but it's not enough apparently, because the film had a $70 million budget, and it has a long way to go to kind of make up for its losses. I don't want to say it like that, but it has a lot to make up for it in order for it to be deemed a success. And I would like it to be a success because Most people nowadays complain about Hollywood making the same movies over and over again, not having original ideas, always making superhero films. That's what people complain about. And when a film like this comes along, an original, interesting idea is presented in a unique way, people just sweep it under the rug. And it's just a little frustrating in that way, because I know I'll hear this argument again eventually, that Hollywood never makes anything original. And that's bullshit. It's just people don't like to take risks. They always say Hollywood doesn't like to take risks, and that's true. They don't like to take risks. They want to be able to make a safe bet, and that's how you usually get films that are just corporation-based and safe. People also don't like to take risks. Oh, why would I want to spend, like, whatever, $40, $60 at the movie theater with some friends or whatever, and I don't know if it's going to be good or not? That's because it was a risk. It's something you might be interested in, but you don't know if it's something you'll completely like. And, people don't like to take those risks. And I don't think people admit that as much as being part of the problem. And of course, Hollywood's inability to branch out is a huge part of the problem, but I also think people don't like to get out of their comfort zones, which is another part of the problem that is not talked about enough, I don't think. And I think it might be coming into play, sadly, with this film, because I thought this film was extraordinary, and it really does provide a different experience, and not many people are discussing it. I know I keep saying that, but it's just saddening to see. I hope this film builds up more hype and more people hear about it through word of mouth, and it spreads that way, and I hope that's how it goes, but I don't know. You could be watching this years in the future, never have heard of it, or maybe you do know of it, maybe it has a cult following. I don't know. I'm sure it will build some sort of following, but its success, I hope, continues to grow. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once is another film that came out recently that I thought had met pretty good success. I'm not sure entirely about how successful it is, but I know it has gotten a decent amount of attention. Even then, I don't think it's as successful as it should be, considering how many people complain all the time about there not being enough original ideas in Hollywood. And it's just frustrating because these great films are coming out, and the Nicolas Cage film that's coming out soon also looks really interesting and just like a fun, cool, goofy Hollywood idea, and it's not really typical. It doesn't look like, it kind of looks like a typical, like, oh, funny, buddy, action fun film, but, like, it looks like an interesting idea that's kind of taking itself not so seriously, and it's not something I would assume Hollywood would totally go for it, because it's taking the idea of Nicolas Cage and using it kind of as a joke, and capitalizing on Nicolas Cage as Nicolas Cage, but still making a fun film and using that as a concept. Anyways, I'm getting off track. The Northman is great, and I don't think it's getting enough attention. And I made this video particularly because I wanted to try my best to get people to see this film. Even if, like, maybe 2 people watch this video and might be convinced, oh, maybe I should look into this a bit more, I would be happy, because I think the more people that see this film and recognize that something like this should be continued, this should be encouraged, and if we give this film more viewership and more success, and even if this is something that you enjoy but don't love, it would still encourage Hollywood to make films that are different, that you may love, and that may be more up your alley. Even if it's not the type of film that you're particularly into, it's still different, and it tries something, and it tries to achieve this vision, and it is a quality piece of work. Whether it's something you're particularly interested in, whether you like Vikings or not, I don't think it matters. I think it's worth a risk on an audience member's part to try out. Please, watch The Northman. Take the risk. It is an amazing film. I'm pretty sure you will like it. I can't speak for everybody, but I'm pretty sure you will. Its quality is undeniable, that's for sure. So I'm sure you'll get something out of it. But please, I beg you, to give it a try. I think this film deserves people at least being willing to give it a shot. And I wish it the greatest of success. So, if you're willing, please watch The Northman.
I cannot escape my fate.